Business, music, finance. If you trying to win.
What's up, everybody? This is your boy Wham. This is Business, Music, and Finance, the show that gives you the game you need to know, intelligent topics, no drama, no gossip. Today, I've got a very special guest in the building with me. He's here to talk about comedy. He's here to talk about being a businessman, and he is a brother, so it's always good to get one of us in here doing big things. Without further ado, Mr. Andre Riggs, thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Clapping.
Yes, sir. All right, so for the people who don't know who you are, can you give us a little 411 on what you do and who you are?
What I do is comedy. I started a couple comedy clubs. I do comedy. I've done comedy around the world. Who I am, I was born in Denver. I grew up in Texas, West Texas, Lubbock, Texas. I've been in Austin coming up on 18 years in February now. That's me, really. I don't do much.
All right, so you say you're from Denver.
I'm not from Denver. I was born there.
You was born there.
I grew up in Texas.
Okay, how long did you live in Denver before you
I think I was maybe a year and a half or something like that.
Okay, that's a bet. Have you done comedy in Denver yet?
Actually, the very first time I got on stage was in Denver. I don't think the place is there no more. I forget what it was called anyway, but this was like 2013, I want to say. And I did it twice in one night, and then I didn't do it again for 4 years, 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years. Well, was it a bad experience or a good experience? Or?
No, when I did it the first time, it was just something. It was just like I was watching the special, Mitch Hedberg's Comedy Central special. Okay. And I don't know if you know who Mitch is, but he just tells like one-liner jokes. And so I was watching it. It was right. It was the Seattle Denver Super Bowl that year. So I was kind of down after we got spanked in that one. But
the 45-9, 45-8?
It was, I forget the score, but it was nasty.
Yeah.
First play of the game, Peyton fumbled.
It was
a fumble over his head or something.
I bet $250 on that game with a double or nothing for 21 Skunks.
Seattle?
No, Peyton Manning.
Oh, Peyton.
Peyton was my guy. It was number one offense in the league that day.
And they just choked. So I was down after that, and then so that would have made it 2017, I think, actually, beginning of 2017. Anyways, it wasn't a bad experience. It was, I saw the special. I was like, man, I could write 10 one-liners right now. I ain't had nothing to do. I was sitting at the house working a warehouse job, graveyard shift, and so I did it. And then like 2 hours later, I was on stage trying to tell the jokes, and I got a few laughs. I wasn't really like fluid with it. I wasn't smooth or nothing like that. I was just trying to remember the jokes, tell the jokes, get off stage. The first place I did it was like a proper comedy setting. And so I did it, got a few laughs. The guy that was running the show, he was like, hey, man, you got something, you should come back. And then I went to a bar that night. I didn't know about bar shows, but I went to a bar open mic, and I got pulled off stage. The guy took the mic from me because I just didn't match the energy of the room, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm trying to tell these one-liner jokes, which you got to pay attention to, and it's just people in the bar getting drunk and shit. And then I'll never forget the guy after me just went up there, and he just started rapping whatever the popular rap song, like a popular rap song of the time, and got an applause.
Oh, bro, I know you were hot.
Well, I was just like, that's what I mean. I get it.
Yeah, you learned.
I understand immediately. It's like, he was matching the energy. He was like, he didn't really care about jokes. He was just trying to match people's energy. And, they took the mic from me after I thought maybe like 2-3 minutes.
Bet. So when I think of comedy, I think of jokes. I think of comedians making people laugh, all the while talking about maybe political or social issues. Yeah. What is comedy to you?
To me, it's freedom from the 9 to 5. That's what comedy is to me. That's most of the reason I got into it. The other reason was the traveling aspect of it.
Okay.
As far as the content, I don't know if I really solidified like what I'm trying to do on stage. It seems since I'm getting older now, it seems like it is going to be something with some kind of message. But I mean, it's if you're trying to get like life lessons from comedians, I don't think that's a good way to go. I mean, it's cool to talk about these things, and but it's really we're just journalists, kind of reflecting the times. You know what I'm saying? We don't have all the information. We just got enough information to make a joke, or we're not really really care about people's feelings so much.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why I like comedy.
Yeah. So it's like you could bring up the topic of the day. Epstein's Island is hot right now. You know what I mean? Because of that list just came out. But it's like it's not really, I don't think, good to look at comedians for, like social guidelines or social.
Or role model.
Yeah, I mean, role models in the sense of maybe business or, pursuing a dream or, just kind of doing what you want to do and being free and, taking ownership of your life. But in the sense of the content, I would say most of us just get enough information for a joke. We don't really dive because, you don't really dive too far into it. Even Chappelle, he'll talk about transgender shit, but then it's just like, it's just for the joke, really. He probably really cares about transgender people, but he likes making fun of.
Yeah, he wants to get across what he wants to get across.
Yeah, the joke. He's trying to get the joke out of it, which is, like he said, an inherently funny situation. And there's a lot of joke material there. But as far as like social commentary, maybe back in the day, maybe like George Carlin, if you're going to look at anybody like George Carlin, he seemed to me to be more of like, he was a comedian for sure, but more of like an orator with a lot of jokes in there and like a
100%. He definitely talks about like greed, capitalism.
Everything, just the small things in life and the small, not taboo, but things that people don't bring up in everyday conversation. So you can get a lot of like, insight into life through that, but I wouldn't really look at comedy for, like I said, social guidelines or anything like that. But
I would agree with you. Now, we talked a little bit about the history of comedy, and, my earliest recollection of comedy is I hear people talk about how comedy was on like vinyl and you would play stuff. But
yeah.
Where did comedy start from your perspective?
As far as I know, it started in New York during the vaudeville days, like Mae West. They would do like plays and stuff on stage,
You're talking like 1920s, 30s, or even
I want to say it was around the 20s or 30s.
Okay.
Vaudeville. And even back then, it was such a rudimentary performance art that I think it was just more like people telling stories on stage or just kind of messing with the crowd. Not really structured jokes and structured sets and things like that. But to my knowledge, that's where it started, and then it moved out west. And but it's an American art form for sure.
Got it. Yeah, I definitely think like our comedy, having one person talk to a bunch of people, because like you look at like medieval time films and stuff, sometimes you'll see, like I think I saw in Gladiator, it was like a little play of like the miniature versions of people
Right.
and doing stuff and everyone laughing at that.
Right.
But it was like 4 or 5 people putting a play together.
Right.
And maybe having like little sticks and stuff, whereas like it's one mic, one person,
Yeah.
and an audience.
I don't think the art form really caught on like as an art form until maybe like the 50s or 60s. Lenny Bruce. He's considered like one of the forefathers of comedy.
Okay.
He actually broke down a lot of barriers for comedians to be able to just say whatever they want on stage. He got arrested, went to court. I believe he went to the Supreme Court. His case about being able to say like whatever you want language wise. And I think he had got arrested for it. I think Carlin was actually in the car when he got arrested as well. And but his case kind of opened it up so we can be able to say whatever we want without any kind of repercussions.
Without going to jail. I mean, you can
Right.
still get canceled, but like going to jail is like a totally different thing.
Right. And even getting canceled is a mindset. It's like
100%.
you really can't get canceled.
If you don't care about it.
I mean,
You can lose your
can-
sponsors and stuff, but that's
Right.
different.
But that's it depends on the goal. So if the goal is to be famous and to be popular and to be liked, well, yeah, you could lose a lot of that, with a loose tongue. But there's always an audience for you. There's somebody that likes what you're doing. There's somebody that that's gonna ride with you and listen to you. Especially if you're delivering it in a professional way, you can never get canceled. It's like, there's a lot of underground comedians with like small cult followings. Not even underground, but like big comedians with cult followings that just don't give a fuck. They don't care about
Getting to the top.
They don't care about
Having
Coke's sponsorship or Pepsi sponsorship. You know what I mean? Because they're making money off the ticket sales and the art. And if you delivering to people and people like it, they'll follow you and they'll keep supporting for sure.
You said Lenny Bruce or Kenny Bruce?
Lenny Bruce.
Lenny Bruce.
Lenny Bruce is for sure considered one of the on the Mount Rushmore.
Can you find his things on YouTube, or is it more like very old school vinyl, cassette tape?
Yeah, you can find some stuff on YouTube. I don't know how many live performances you can see, but you can listen to a lot. Okay. There's a lot of audio of Lenny Bruce. And if you do listen to it, you have to listen to it thinking about being in the mind frame of the 50s and the 60s. Because a lot of his references are, presidents from that time or what do they call them? Colloquialisms from that time, phrases from that time.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of got to put it into perspective because it's hard to follow unless you're really paying attention.
Just like listening to a hip-hop song from the 90s, they're talking about different things versus now.
Yeah, more police brutality, more in your face, overt, and now it's more like fashion.
Money, cars, clothes, hoes.
Yeah, money, cars, clothes, hoes. So, it takes a little substance out of it.
But, I don't blame them for talking about that because people in the 80s walked, so now people can run.
Yeah, get rich, dog. I mean,
24.
We can always consider it good art, but get that bag for sure.
Hey, look. If you suck, but you cash it in, keep on sucking, bro. Keep on cashing.
I ain't mad at you.
I'm not either. I'm not either at all. Now, what's the best and the worst thing about being a comedian?
The best thing for me is the freedom. My time is my time, and I get out of it what I put into it. The worst thing... The worst thing for me, I think, is having to do the social dance, the hangouts. Because I'm a little older now. If I would have started when I was like 20, 21, it'd have been easier to just hang out and party and bullshit, shoot the shit. I got a different mindset now. So at like 35, 36, not that I didn't party at all, or drink or whatever, but I just never really been like hang out with the group and stick with and kind of clout chase. And
there's certain things you got to do in the entertainment industry that
you have to side up next to people and people that can help you out, and you have to really go after opportunities. It's something that happens in the comedy world is like this. Like if you're a comedian, we on the same level as comedians, and let's say Joe Rogan walks in the room, it's like immediately even if we're having a good conversation, immediately all the attention goes to Rogan, and then you'll see people start to walk over there trying to get his attention, trying to talk to him, bringing up, maybe real or fictitious stories to, just, what I'm saying? Just kind of clout chasing and bullshit and trying to get in favor with who they think can help them out.
Yeah, because for me, in reality, though, he'll see immediately who don't come over and he'll be like, okay, I want to know who that person is because that person is not just jumping off the ship immediately.
Unfortunately, you would think that, but it's, I think that's far and few between the people that actually do that. Mm-hmm. I think the phrase, the squeaky wheel gets the grease is how to pursue. If you're going to get into comedy, and you want to advance and you want people's attention, you have to make noise. You have to get in their face. Hey, how you doing? My name is yada, yada, yada. I love your whatever. Man, I watch that all the time. It's what I'm saying? Just kind of shoot the shit with people.
So one of the things that I talk about is being an admirer, not a fan. Prince actually came out on a BET interview in like the 90s or early 2000s where he talks about a fan is a fanatic, right? And an admirer is somebody who admires your work.
Sure.
And I feel like it's very hard to separate the two, but for me it's like an admirer seeing their favorite artist in the crowd is going to be singing that song, whereas a fan is just going to have their phone out recording and may not necessarily be truly engaged. And so I definitely get where you're coming from when it comes to being around people who are high profile. But being in Austin, Texas, I've been fortunate to hang around with enough profile people to understand that they're just somebody who more people know their birth date and their full name,
for sure,
or their nickname. But they're still us.
Yeah, they're just people.
And they might have worked harder. They might have not. They might have got lucky. But at the end of the day, it's like I would never put somebody in a higher regard for that simple reason.
Yeah. Yeah.
I may admire you more than somebody else, but like I'm not gonna chase after you.
Yeah.
Nobody.
I mean,
but I don't know,
said, in the industry, that's a lot of what's happening, and no fault on anybody. Everybody's trying to move up and get to the next level, and you got to do what you got to do. If you can't see no other way, I'm just not. I don't know. I'm a very independent kind of person, and you know, I say what's up. If I like something, I liked it. I say, yeah, I liked it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Tell you I didn't. Even if I didn't watch it, I ain't gonna tell you I loved it. You know what I mean? So that kind of hinders my progression. Not doing the social dance, but you know, at the end of the day, it's.
But if I see Rogan, I would actually like to ask him how to do a takedown because he has a back heel kick. You know, I would ask him about that, but that's, you know what I'm saying, that's just because I would love to try that move one day.
Yeah, if it comes from a genuine place, I don't mind talking to somebody. But if I just can't.
Like, hey, Rogan. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not doing none of that.
I can, but I feel like it'll hurt my soul.
You go home.
Like,
I should have did
why
that.
I do that? Dog?
Yeah.
I ain't even get a spot.
I ain't even getting none out of it but a hoodie.
Damn, dog.
I know. Now I'm on his list. All right. So, what are 3 things you think that every successful comedian should have?
Dedication. You know, dedication and commitment for sure. It's a. You know, very few people just kind of blow up out of nowhere. It takes a long time. It's a grind, like anything. So dedication. I think they should have like some knowledge of comedy. You know, like where it came from. You know, what's happening in comedy. You know, kind of be relevant with it also. But study the game. You know, I think they should study the game and watch everything. You know, just have a kind of voracious appetite for comedy, and you got to eat it up to see what's good, see what's bad. You know, I did a lot of that. Still doing a lot of that for sure.
Are you talking about watching Netflix shows, going back to old school Chappelle show? Or?
Everything. Anybody that got on stage, try to watch it, try to learn from it, read the books.
There's books about comedy?
There's books about comedy. There's comedians that have written books. You know, kind of giving their history and how they made it and what happened to them. There's all kinds of books about comedy. You know, from a technical standpoint to the personal standpoint, there's books you can read just to absorb like what the game is. You know what I'm saying? How it might go for you, or these are the typical paths. And the third thing I would say is, I mean, if you're gonna do it for real, have some, you know, find some stability in life, because it gets wild. The parties get crazy. The lifestyle's crazy. So have something stable.
Like a girl, grandma, mom, like dog.
Family around you, you know.
A good foundation.
Try to lock in a foundation before you get big, because that's you know.
Because
you need people to fall back on, or you need that hobby that you've been doing for 20 years before comedy. You need something to ground you and keep you motivated, you know, outside of comedy.
What grounded you?
Me, I got a small group of friends I talk to all the time. I got my family, you know, I talk to every once in a while. But I also got into the game when I was 30. So I already had like, you know what I'm saying? Like I already had life, and I already been living. I already had like, and I'm not the most grounded person, but I have people that kind of I can check in with me.
Now give you what you need without sugarcoating it.
Yeah, they'll tell me. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll, you know, or at least just support it and, you know, keep going, help me make decisions and stuff like that. But people outside of comedy, they have nothing to do with comedy. So I already had that coming in. And I think just starting the game when I was like 30.
Allows you to be able to have that mental fortitude.
A little bit, yeah. Because I already kind of knew who I was coming in. I wasn't trying to figure out, you know. Right now I'm just trying to figure out how people see me on stage, and so I can play on that. But I kind of know who I am off stage. You know what I'm saying? So I already lived a life. I already traveled around the world. I already, you know, hooked up with girls, been in relationships.
You already did the whole the Rockefeller thing.
I mean, yeah, without the money.
I mean, hey, you don't need money. You don't need money if you know what you're doing.
Without the money, yeah, I've been, you know, I've been in a few countries before I started comedy, and you know, I got to live life, you know, living and.
Yeah, you told me like, you know, a while back you was in Italy, just chilling.
I did Italy earlier this year. It was the girlfriend. She's not my ex-girlfriend, but we did that, and then late last year we did Vancouver, and I also been to Sweden, London, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, Mexico, Canada,
The Black Knight, boy.
Istanbul.
The Black Knight over here.
Yeah, where else I've been? I mean, all over the state. I think I've been to like 40 out of 50 states or something like that.
So you a city boy?
No, I'm a country dude.
Country dude. Okay.
Yeah,
All
the
right.
city's too much for me.
I like it. He said he a country dude, not a city boy. He ain't even people that I was saying. All right, during one of our conversations, you talked about how some comedians will have a joke that they start in January and they won't perfect it, or they'll keep doing it up until like something like May or June, right? 5-6 months.
Even longer.
You know, why is that?
You might have an idea about a joke. So the first thing you're gonna do is probably either write it down or put it on stage, but it's very raw. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, the game is to kind of paint pictures with words. That's kind of the game. Take people's minds and do that in the most efficient and funny way at the same time. So the first raw idea, the way it plays out is funny. But now you have to translate it into words, translate the actions, make sure your actions on stage match the words. You got to find the beats of the joke. You got to find out, you know, when to emphasize this, when to emphasize that, what words are not necessary for the joke. Because you're going to write it, and you might have a whole page on that one joke, and then by the end of the joke, it's like 3/4 of a page or half a page or less, a quarter of a page.
You've reduced it.
You've reduced it because you took out all the things that didn't matter for the joke. You know what I'm saying? To get to the funny part, to get to the funny. So what happens is you start with a raw idea, you write it, you put it on stage, you fill it out, you start talking, you use the words, and then you're like, okay, I don't need that. That didn't flow. You know what I'm saying? If you want to think about Jay-Z, it's like you're thinking about the beat, you're thinking about the joke, and then you got to figure out in your mind how to make the words as seamless as possible to get to the funny. And so that's what happens with the joke. And then it becomes like a plant where it's like this joke leads into another joke. So now how do we fit this into the existing jokes that we got? What else can we add to the scenario the picture I painted in your head to make the joke funnier? How do I make it more? How do I give it more gravitas? How do I engage you more so that you're just linked into the joke? And I can paint this whole world, you know, and you're following it like seamlessly, like you get it, A, B, C, D. But it takes a while to paint that picture and to paint it thoroughly and effectively. So it's like you start with a raw idea, and then you got to get on stage. You got to keep talking, talk to different audiences, talk to different people. How do they feel about it? How do they react? When do people react automatically? If I say this word, I get the laugh every time. Okay, that's, you know, like a checkpoint or a landmark. What can I do before that to get another laugh? You know, make another landmark. Now I got 2 landmarks. And then what can I do after that? Can I add a voice to this person, that's the other person that's in the joke? You know what I mean? Like this, yeah. There's different...
building the joke.
You're building it out. You're building it out, filling out the world, putting details in there that mean something to the joke and that you can also use for another joke. But that kind of thing takes, you know, like I said, it's like a plant. The initial idea is the seed. It starts to grow as you start talking about it. You water it. You think about it. Another branch pops off. Oh, I can take it this way. Boom. You keep watering that. You start doing that often. Oh shit, I can take it this way. Another branch, another leaf, and it just keeps blossoming like that.
And so that takes time. And,
takes time.
And I get why you say now that it could take, you know, half a year to perfect a joke. Because once it's funny, it's gonna hit every time. Most
of the time. Maybe not every time in every room, but you can rely on it. You know what I'm saying? Like you can put it in the set, it's reliable. And you know, a lot of people see Netflix specials or specials and they think, oh, they just talk like that. You know, for a while when I first started, I was like, oh, he's just man, he's real smooth. He talks like that. He's just being natural himself. But being natural takes work, which is crazy to think about. But to make it seem natural takes a lot of work. You know, think about like a magician. It's like the sleight of hand looks effortless, but it took him, how many times did he practice that trick before it seemed effortless? You know what I mean? That's kind of comedy. How many times did they tell that joke before it just rolls off the tongue like conversation? That's why it takes a while to get into the flow of a set and to make a whole set, to make a bit, to make, you know, get your routine down.
That's a great point you brought up, because I don't know if you've seen Dave Chappelle's latest special, but he started out talking about how his father died and how he loved Jim Carrey, but Jim Carrey was in character. And then the punchline is going to basically, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's going to either making fun of handicapped people or making fun of transgender people.
The joke was that's how he feels when he sees transgender.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is how they're making him feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is basically an intro into why I have a lot of feelings about this. That's why I keep making jokes about it. That's I think it was just an intro into the genesis of all his trans jokes, which is like that's how I feel. That's why I keep talking about this, because it's a weird situation. And I just gave you an example of how it
makes you feel.
But
his setup, his build up, the seed he planted in the beginning and then watering it, I was just like, oh man, he's good. Yeah. And so for somebody that does that, do they have writers, or is that just like, that's just them? Or is it a combination of the two?
What you mean?
Just great comedians and great acts in the comedic world. Do they have a team, or is it just them that's writing that material, and then they may give it to someone for an edit, right, and for a review?
There's different different strokes for different folks. Some people got teams. I think it's widely known Kevin Hart has a team of writers that helps him write. I think Amy Schumer also has writers. And then I think you got like Louis C.K. I think he writes his own stuff. I think Chappelle might have a group that helps him out. But I feel like he writes most of his stuff. So I think that's mostly him on stage, but it's hard to say. You know what I mean? I think, sometimes you can tell like, oh, this doesn't really fit his personality, or maybe somebody gave him that joke or gave him that tag or something like that. But, different strokes for different folks. It's like once you have to produce material, once you're known for producing a lot of material, it's kind of hard to pump it out if you don't have writers, because you got to live a life to talk about stuff. You know what I mean? And if you constantly under pressure to produce, it's like, well, you probably got help.
Well, you probably need it because you're so busy. Now, from your perspective as a comedian, do you care that someone has writers?
I mean, I don't care. I don't do it's like bad rap. It's like, if you're making money, dog, make money. I don't care.
Okay, because for me, it's like female artists, female rappers, a lot of them have writers, but no one else really cares. Well, there's a large majority of people that don't care that they have writers. But if it's a male rapper having a writer, then it's looked at differently. And so that's why I wanted to ask somebody who's actually in the field.
I mean, I don't care. I know it happens. It's going to happen. I think it does take away from the authenticity. I think you can feel it, too, when it's not personal, or if it's not coming from like a first-hand point of view. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I think it takes something away from the performance and the art and the how many people you can grab. Yeah. But I mean, like
you said, you don't care.
I don't care. I don't need to do it, but I don't care.
Kevin Hart is very busy, and I think he is funny. And the reason I say he's funny is because even though he may have a team that writes his jokes, there are two videos, or there is a video and then there's audio. There's a video against him and Meek Mill and Meek Mill's crew. They're going back and forth. Yeah. And then there is one where Kevin is against Jamie Foxx and his radio crew. Right? Ain't nobody write that. That's Kevin going straight for the jugular. And to me, that's how you know, okay, he's funny, because he could do that. If he could do that, then he could do the other stuff.
For sure. He's funny, for sure. I mean, there's no doubt about it, but I think some of his last couple specials are questionable just because of it doesn't feel like the old Kevin. Mm-hmm. He's not as hungry. Now it feels like a paycheck.
When you worth $250 million, I mean, I don't know who's hungry after $250 million.
It's no knock on him. I'm just telling you that's how it feels. I think to most of the public, old Kevin's better than new Kevin, for sure. But there's no doubt that he's a funny person.
Mm-hmm. No, and I would agree. Like that, people say old Kanye is better than new Kevin, but I just feel like there's like the evolution. Like you wouldn't have new Kevin without the old Kevin.
Of course not, but the evolution is kind of when you start getting writers, you don't really see his evolution. You know what I mean? You might be able to see it as a performer, but you don't really see it in the material because it's other people's thoughts infiltrating. So I don't know if
I get where you're coming from. Old Kevin was Prince, did his own stuff. New Kevin's Michael Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Cause Mike ain't right. Mike ain't. Hey, shout out to Mike, but
Mike didn't write all of it.
Yeah, Mike ain't right. But them dance moves was all Michael.
I think the best time to see the evolution of Kevin was probably from like open mic to Let Me Explain.
Yeah,
the first one.
Say it with your chest.
Say it with your chest. So probably from open mics to Let Me Explain, and I think he did one right after that called Now What? Or What Now?
What Now? Yeah.
I think What Now might have been the last one I kind of laughed at.
Okay.
But I think that's the biggest evolution. And then now it's just probably just going to be paychecks from now on. I don't see him innovating because he don't have to. He don't have to create nothing new. Just feed the machine now. Like kind of like Chappelle, feed the machine. Chappelle still got some creative things happening, but
it's more his brand that's getting him.
Killing Me Softly was felt new.
Tough.
Yeah, it felt new. It felt like, oh shit. The closer felt like there was a couple open mic jokes in there.
Yeah, and I actually saw he had like a 4.5 hour comedic. He was like on an open mic. It's like it's really bad backdrop.
Comic strip.
Yeah, and then he's just up there sitting down, smoking cigarettes, just talking. He's going ham, right? But I guess a lot of people who don't really look into comedy will ever see that video.
Probably not, but something like that is great because you can see that it's not all funny all the time. It's
100%.
It's like if you have the space, that's what I would love to have. It's just the space to sit up there for 3 hours and 4 hours because I move slow in life. I talk slow. I think slow, but it's to have that space allows for creative things to come in, and if you can take your time, you can hit harder when it is time to put the special out, and that's why a lot of his specials, hit well.
Oh, they do, but it's also Dave Chappelle. He's shown you he's been funny.
He's very talented.
Yeah,
very talented. From a performance standpoint to he's been funny, but he also has the space to just sit there, and now he's got his own comedy club. It's just like there's going to be so many 2, 3, 4 hour sets he does up there.
Where's his comedy club now?
I believe it's in Dayton, Ohio.
Oh yeah, it's definitely
just outside of Yellow Springs.
Chappelle, man, pull up Austin, man. Taxes, very good, very good. It's not that cold.
Let me get on at the club.
Get my boy Riggs on there. Okay.
Let me get a 2 hour spot.
Hey, let me get 15. I got a couple one-liners. Speaking of Dave Chappelle and other comedians, who is your favorite comedian right now?
Right now?
Mm-hmm.
Dead or alive?
Let's go with alive.
Alive? Alive, I would say maybe I like Nate Bargatze.
Okay. What about dead?
Who?
Dead.
Dead? Maybe Norm Macdonald.
Norm.
Yeah.
Shout out Norm.
I like Patrice too, but I feel like Norm was more about the joke. He's just a joke. He's just a joke guy.
Joke machine.
He'd turn spiders and Pop-Tarts into something funny. Patrice trying to say something all the time. There's a black wisdom there. Norm just wants to make it just a joke.
Opie and Anthony had a lot of good stuff from Patrice. I've heard a lot of those on YouTube.
But I think he's always trying to put a message out. There's always
and he would always dig at women, so I kind of felt like there was like that, like, even though it sounded like he got a lot of ladies, it sounded like he got rejected a lot, so that was maybe a part of his comedy. But of course, never saw Patrice, so I'm only just coming off of what I've heard.
Elephant in the Room?
I haven't watched Elephant in the Room, but I'm saying, like, I've never seen him live, so I don't want to just come off and have an opinion on somebody I've never seen live.
Yeah.
And just a lot of the Opie and Anthony stuff, Opie and Anthony are talking about relationships, talking about their girl, or people are calling in about wanting wisdom when in regarding to relationship, and Patrice was given that. And maybe that was like his niche. Maybe that's what he was on the show for.
Yeah, he did that. The Black Dr. Phil. I forget the name of it, but the Black Phillip, I think it was called.
Yeah. And there's like 200 episodes. So if you guys are interested in Patrice O'Neal, just Patrice O'Neal, Opie and Anthony show. It's on YouTube. You can definitely find episodes. Speaking of Patrice, I wanted to ask you, and I just lost my train of thought. It'll come back to me. But in the meantime, it's said that William Shakespeare plagiarized some of his work. We all know that Disney, a lot of their bestsellers aren't their original stories. From your perspective, what is your opinion on someone taking someone else's work and then making it their own?
That's fucked.
So, nay.
No, that's fucked.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
Why?
It's not yours. It's not,
If they take a piece of it,
that's fucked.
so what about sampling in music?
Different game.
Sampling does get paid.
This is the in comedy, there's like I said, Epstein Island is big right now, right? So right now there's a million jokes about Epstein Island throughout the world. Comedians just ripping jokes, right? So there's a lot of parallel thinking about that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So right now there's a lot of common jokes,
About
Epstein Island. But eventually one of those jokes or some of those jokes are going to rise to the top as like, coming from a different angle and being hilarious. And to me, once that happens, it's like, all right, if my joke's not as funny or funnier, we just stop telling it. It's too close to, first of all, it's on the same topic and it's not as funny as the joke you just heard.
Mm-hmm.
They got it. They did it.
Is it
and then to rip it word for word is like.
Okay, you say rip it word for word. If they take a basis and switch it up, if it's not verbatim.
It just can't. It can be about the same topic. It can be no verbatim. This is how I feel. There can be no verbatim, usage of words in there. That's fucked.
I've heard a lot of people in your industry say the same thing. I just want people who may have a different perspective, who aren't.
Don't steal jokes. You will get paid, but you will also be looked at as a villain, as like you will be ostracized from the community. You just won't.
People won't trust you.
They won't trust you. You know what I'm saying? That it's fucked. It's be original.
Be original.
Be authentic. You know what I'm saying? Think about it from a different angle. Don't steal jokes because people work. It's like a plant that you grew and you cared for, and somebody came and stole it. You're like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you'd be hot.
You'd be like, I put so much energy into this thing, and somebody just took it. And then it happens all the time because what happens is, this is what I've heard. I haven't seen it in the room personally, but people have scouts or something like that, and then you'll see that joke on late night TV. I'm sure that's happened a million times. Mm-hmm. But that's once it hits television, now it's a battle of he said, she said, I did this first, who did this first. It's just
improving it in court,
just like the Cat Williams thing. Who did it first? Now it's a he said, she said. Somebody's got to prove it. And now it's a thing, but
now there's videos coming out.
But now there's a controversy. You see what I'm saying? That's why it's fucked. Because now you got this controversy around you, and maybe the truth comes to light or not. But where there's smoke, there's fire, and something happened, and you don't want that drama. It's just why would you want that? Also, nobody's gonna look at you as a good comedian after that.
Yeah, and so that one joke could cost you your career.
It could cost you a lot. It could cost you stage time. People won't, if they know. People, maybe some club bookers are just kind of seedy and don't give a fuck. They just want the people to come because they need the money. But from an artist standpoint and from a community standpoint, you're fucked.
Yeah, I think one of the differences between comedy and like other communities like music or like the entertainment or acting, and comedy is a very close community. So if you say something or do something, a lot of people in the community are going to find out very quickly.
Yeah.
And so, I didn't really follow Amy Schumer like that, but I've just seen anytime something comes out, it's about her stealing jokes, or Carlos Mencia, or how he stole jokes and stuff like that. And of course, they say you're stealing something. So off rip is bad. But when it comes to comedy and how hard people work to find things that make people laugh and make enjoyment for people's free time, for you to take that, it's looked at as very serious.
Right. Because what happens is if you take it and make it big, I can't use it no more. All I have is the argument now, like, nah, I did that first. But it's like, well, fuck it. It's already on national television. Now I got to think of something else.
Mm-hmm. And you can't sue, I'm assuming.
It's hard to prove. It's hard to prove. And then I think it's also hard to prove the monetary gain from that one joke in a set. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a very unpoliced community, but we police ourselves in the sense of like, yo, don't fuck with him. Don't fuck with her, dog. She still in jail. That's all my shit.
That's crazy. I didn't think of it like that, but that makes sense.
Yeah, you just can't. You just don't want that joke. That you don't want it to be like, yeah, Amy Schumer's good, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Barry Bonds hit home runs, but Mark McGwire hit home runs, but it's like, nah, Mark McGwire hit home runs. That nigga's legendary. Yeah. That's what you kind of want it to be. You know what I mean? You don't want it to be
have that asterisk.
Asterisk on it, and then you're like. Not that you won't get famous, because you could still, you know what I'm saying? It's so easy with the internet now too. You could rip it right off the internet, go watch open micers that have good jokes, but ain't got no
clout.
They got no clout. They got no access to bigger room.
No following, and then just rip it.
Just rip it and take it, and yeah, you're gonna win, but you're gonna win in a bad way, you know.
Don't steal jokes, man.
Don't steal jokes. No.
All right,
be original.
What role does music play in comedy?
You know, I didn't think about this until recently because there was like a comedy mentor. She was giving us some game, but she said, listen to the music. The music that you grew up with kind of influences how you talk. You know what I mean, and how your rhythm and your delivery. You know what I mean? It kind of, which to me makes sense. It's like me, I've grown up, it was like, you know, R&B, Motown, then hip hop came. And so I feel like I deliver in like a smooth, you know. Thorough.
Well thought.
Yeah.
Measure twice, cut once.
That's my mannerisms, which definitely coincides with like Motown, R&B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, if you're like, maybe, you know, on stage, maybe you listen to, you know,
some
rock, punk, you know what I'm saying? And then also, not music as sense of like the category of music, but the beats and the timing and the tempo. That, you know, kind of dictates how you deliver also. And
I bring that up is because I don't think people give Nick Cannon enough credit. Wildin' Out.
As far as being a comedian?
No. How he's taking music and comedy and put it together at Wildin' Out. Like, my favorite segment of Wildin' Out is at the family reunion, who we introduced. Like, that's just one of those, but there's multiple segments. And I'm not saying necessarily that he's the funniest, right? Or he should be put in a conversation like that. But I think the business aspect of Wildin' Out and what it does for our community and how funny it is, I think it should be studied. I don't think there's anything funnier on TV, on cable, when it comes to comedy in our community and music in our community, right? That maybe not necessarily is bad, but it's like you're able to put people on.
Sure. I mean, he made an amazing platform. It kind of helped Matt Rafe get big, too. But
85 South Show.
85 South, you know, DC and them.
All the content creators on Instagram or TikTok.
Yeah. He made a lot of those people, you know, even battle rappers brought them in.
Yeah.
Gave them a bigger platform. For sure, he did a great thing. I don't think he did anything but bring shit that was in the hood to TV.
100%.
I mean, I think
I'm not saying he's the Moses, but I'm saying like I think he had the balls to tell the executives like, hey man, like y'all may not see this.
He also had the money too and the
pull. Facts.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah.
He's got that kind of energy.
I mean, that drumline set was legendary, boy.
Nick Cannon on the low, Nick Cannon probably is like, half Jewish in the industry. You know what I mean? Like his kind of pool, like his access is.
I think he was one of the brothers who started in Disney and didn't mess it up. Like the brother off of Saturday Night Live.
Kenan Thompson?
Yes, he's one of those. I feel like those are the individuals. Like my pops and my brother are role models to me, and I don't really admire those like celebrity types for role models perspective. But if there are people that I would like have a pen and a pad and listen to them and write stuff down, it'd be those people because like just how they've maneuvered.
I mean, yeah, that's just the reach is incredible. Or the phone contacts is.
And for me, it's the lack of mistakes. Because everybody gonna make mistakes, but it's like, how many mistakes have you seen them make to where it's like?
I mean, really, all you got to do is like not cheat on your wife, don't rape kids, and just keep making money. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't hurt nobody.
Don't cheat on your wife. Don't rape kids.
Yeah.
Don't hurt nobody.
You're gonna win. I mean, you can keep moving, you can keep momentum. You know what I'm saying? Just don't do nothing.
Don't get caught with drugs would be something that.
Even drugs you could bounce back from. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
Shout out Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah. It's like, just, don't have women against you. Don't have nothing the kids,
Don't have women
keep
against
their kids away from.
Yeah, because everyone has kids.
Yeah. And then, don't kill nobody.
Okay. I mean, OJ killed somebody and
don't nobody fuck with OJ like that?
I don't know. He's still signing autographs, brother.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. That's just like infamous now. He's infamous.
Yeah.
He's not. He'll never have a light on him, like a bright light. There'll never be the fucking, oh shit, you heard OJ's new podcast? That shit blowing up like Rogan.
But if OJ went to Club Shay Shay.
That's bad for Shannon Sharp. I think.
I would agree from a certain perspective.
Unless you got OJ to say he did it. Like outright.
I think bro, if he got OJ to do
Otherwise, what you talking about?
Yeah.
OJ, we still got this thing from the 90s we need to clear up, brother.
Well, let's just be clear since we're talking about that. I feel like you gotta look at the facts, right? And I've done a little bit of research. OJ met Shorty when she was 18, working in like a gentleman's club. Okay. She was 18. He was however old he was, at least 5-6 years older. Right? Okay. He was already married.
Already kind of sketchy.
Then
actually, he was already married.
He was already married.
Already sketchy.
He was married to a black woman.
Don't cheat on your wife.
There you go. Hey, all right. Then we go to just was somebody who wanted to control her, right? Most older men want to control young women, and then in an act of rage, I think he did it, and I think he got off because of what the police did to Rodney King. I think I'm pretty sure they were very close to each other. So, Anglo-Saxon people said, we'll give you this one. Also, I feel like Anglo-Saxon people let OJ go free because at a time it was looked down upon for Anglo-Saxon women to date men that look like us. And so they said, she's not one of us.
Yeah.
And also his jury was, his jury was not Anglo-Saxon, looked like us. And so there was a lot of racial stuff in there.
For sure.
And of course, I'm just speculating, but I mean, let's keep it real. Like, you and I both know there are certain people who would look at girls in their ethnic group differently for dating outside of the ethnic group.
Sure.
And if the dude was black, OJ wouldn't have killed him.
I mean, maybe
rest in peace to him. But I don't think OJ had the balls to do that.
You don't think he did it?
I don't think he had the balls to kill a brother. I don't think he would have. Nah.
It's too much. That's too much aggression. He wanted to, like you said, control.
Yeah. Homie would have been on 10, like knowing I'm messing with OJ's wife. Like, yeah,
it'd been a fight. You've been ready for that.
Yeah, he probably would have bust OJ upside his head before OJ got the chance. But yeah, like you said, don't kill women.
Don't kill nobody. Don't cheat on your wife. And
if it's time. So what do you do? You and your wife are just not. You're not seeing eye to eye. Because you told me before. Huh? Get a divorce?
Don't. Because a divorce is much cleaner than you've been sleeping around. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know. I've never been married. And you also
No.
told me love doesn't last.
That's what I heard, but which makes sense to me. It's like because people, I've had a best friend since 4th grade. It's like we don't communicate all the time, but we still friends. And I love him, but it's like sometimes I didn't. We had arguments and shit. But I think you get used to a person, you get used to a thing, and then you just kind of like done with it. Mm-hmm. But you're in a marriage now, so now you got to kind of figure out, all right, how do we bring the love back? Because I'm kind of done with you.
Yeah, if I ever got married, bro, I'm sticking that thing through.
Yeah, that's what I'm waiting on.
I'm not going to marry somebody and then like call it off just cause.
Yeah, I'm not interested in divorce. I think the easiest way to do it is to get married in like your late 30s or 40s. You kind of established as people already. You ain't got that much time left. Why not write it out with this person? There's less chance of, especially a woman in her 40s. She's coming up on menopause. She might have had kids already. She can't have kids. She's kind of just looking to,
find a suitable partner
to hang out, somebody to hang out with, and just be there.
I've been telling people, and I know this sounds messed up, but I'm saying that if you like kids, right, but you necessarily don't want to have to go through the 0 to 2-year-old stage with a child, just find you a girl who already has a kid.
Sure.
And but make sure she care about her child first before anything, because that's the type of woman that you really gonna want to be beside, because once she puts you on the same level as that child, she can be a force to reckon with, and she can be a true partner that can help you with your ambitions and things like that, because she's already taking care of somebody else. So when you take care of her, she now will be able to focus on taking care of the home, taking care of you, taking care of the child.
That's good advice.
I just don't want to change diapers. I grew up helping my siblings change their diapers. So I'm trying to do that.
Was it 2 years of doing that? 3 years?
I got 13 siblings.
Man, that's a lot of diapers. You know what I'm saying? But you fall out of, you're like, I'm done with that, dog.
Yeah.
After how many years? 13, 12?
Man, I mean, I was 14, 15, 16, babysitting, washing dishes, doing that.
Yeah. I mean, what was the question?
The question was, do you get a divorce or do you try to work it out?
Nah, I get the divorce. I mean, if it just ain't working out, get the divorce. Don't cheat. That's just, in the public eye, that's cleaner. That's a cleaner move.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now Jay-Z looks bad. Like, he's still Hove, but it's like, yeah, but you also fucked over Beyonce, which is a wild thing to do.
I don't know, brother. I don't know. I had to disagree.
You don't think he cheated?
I would have to disagree that it would be worse for Hov to leave Beyonce.
I mean, why?
No, 100%. No,
now he looks bad to women.
I think
he's a cheater. That's what women think.
Shout out to Hov. Hov, I love Beyonce. My house is a hit.
But it's a mark on his. You know what I'm saying? It's a mark on the.
There can never be a mark on the blueprint too.
All right. Well,
I'm just saying, bro.
Pick it album by album, but I'm talking about his public image.
I'm saying his public image, man. You can't.
You think his public image is still intact, like it was? Because before he cheated, black excellence.
Yeah.
Then he cheated.
I get it.
Black problems.
Oh God, dog, you right. Hey, I would just tell him to work it out. I just tell him to work it out.
He fucked up Beyonce's black excellence as a couple. She by herself now is black excellence. We don't know. I mean, she's for sure crazy, but
I'm not saying Beyonce.
To be that, I mean, the ego's got to be through the roof. You know what I'm saying? To be Beyonce, like you have to be some kind of tyrant.
I think to be with Jay-Z, I think being with Jay-Z makes you crazy. I don't think being Jay-Z's girl makes. I don't think just being the girl that Jay-Z's with makes you crazy.
No, I'm saying Beyonce herself is probably a little crazy.
Yeah, but like
she's also an artist.
100%. But
she's a wild girl.
Yeah, but
you seen her outfits?
Yes,
that's a wild girl.
I was looking to buy her tickets to resell them.
Yeah,
I was finna 3-bet them things, brother.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
And then I see they were $1,200. I was like, bro, I don't really want to charge somebody black $3,600.
Get 25 for it. They'll pay. They will pay.
Okay, all right. That's what we gonna do next time.
I just found out Taylor.
Taylor Swift booming.
She's the only person to make $1 billion just off of music.
Yeah.
No other business.
Never dated a black guy.
Look at her.
What you mean? Hey, look, shout out to Taylor Swift. Look, man, everybody has their type. Everybody has their type.
That girl's from Nashville, Tennessee.
Where the barbecue's good.
Actually, she's from like Michigan or Wisconsin or something.
Wisconsin.
Some northern. She moved to Tennessee, but I watched a documentary.
Look at my brother right here.
I mean, you gotta keep up on Taylor, dog.
You like snow bunnies?
Snow bunnies? If they got some meat on them, I wouldn't bang Taylor. That just looks boring.
Hey, yo, relax.
It don't look fun.
Some people like hot dogs. Some people like hamburgers. It don't matter.
I think they having missionary sex. Her and Travis.
Yo, relax.
I bet he don't even get head. He don't even ask for it. That's a good Christian family. The Lord doesn't like. The Lord didn't drink tea.
Oh my God. Yo, this guy's nuts. All right, give me 3 songs that you want people to bump sooner than later.
3 songs?
3 songs.
Sexy Time. There's a song called Pressure by Ari Lennox. ARILENNOX.
Everybody know. Cold World's artist.
Yeah. She got a song called Pressure. I just got into Lake Street Dive. They got a song called Good Kisser.
Taylor Swift definitely a good kisser.
Yeah, but she probably ain't a good fuck.
It's not all about that, brother.
She ain't got no bass. She ain't got nobody, really.
You tripping. You don't know. You don't know. Her bed probably do stuff. It just twirls and stuff. It's got a remote.
I bet her friends do stuff.
Ripping.
I bet her friends wild than a motherfucker.
Hey, look, I bet her friends are wild too. If I'm Taylor Swift, I'm wild with you.
And then what else have I been listening to? What did I say? Pressure
By Ari Lennox. Good kisser.
Good Kisser, Lake Street Dive, and I don't know, fucking We Are Winners by The Impressions.
We Are Winners by The Impressions. That sounds like a very old school type of song.
Yeah, it's like a Motown. 60s, 70s.
60s, 70s. All right, so you are a business owner. You have your own.
Technically, yeah.
You have your own comedy spot, East Austin Comedy Club.
Mm-hmm.
It's on East 4th Street.
Yeah.
Austin, Texas. 787
02
BYOB, so you can bring your wine. By the way, he loves Taylor Swift as I do. From a financial perspective.
All right.
Bro, she makes $1 billion.
She
man.
all right.
I look. Taylor, date a brother. You know what I'm saying? You start eating some ramen, some PB&J sandwiches.
Taylor Swift would be down half a billion.
You nuts. All right. From a financial perspective, how does a comedian do taxes?
I've never filed as just a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
We filed last year as business owners.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's all mostly contract work. I think it's
1099?
1099s or W9s or whatever, those 1099s. I think it's just like any performer, From what I've understood, I haven't actually done it. But, there's still things that you can write off. I looked it up one time. You can get money back for clothes, flights,
Hotel rooms,
hotels, cell phones, gas, food. But I think I read something that meals were taken out of the tax.
Okay.
When they redid the tax laws.
would you recommend that people keep track of all their receipts?
If you can, yeah, if you got that kind of mind, and I would say if you're gonna do your own taxes, do it like bi-weekly, like update your shit every 2 weeks instead of waiting till the end of the year to try to go back. Just stay on top of it. Maybe every day, just at the end of the day, file it where it needs to file. Add it up how it needs to get added up, but stay on top of it because, I'm just not an accountant. I can't just sit there and, at the end of the year and go through like 1,000 receipts. I'm just gonna be like, fuck it.
IRS.
Fuck it, dog. Hey, listen. What's the least I can claim? I ain't even trying to get the most right now. That's too many receipts.
Yeah, I feel you. All right, how many shows a week is a good comedian doing?
It depends. Everybody's got a different work ethic and a working style.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in the beginning though, if you just trying to do comedy, get on stage as much as possible, 3-4 times a day if you have to, if you can, if it's possible, because you're really in the beginning you're only doing like, 3-minute sets, 4-minute sets, 5-minute sets, so you can get 15 minutes in a day, working out the same joke, boom, boom, boom. But you need to get used to being on stage, and that's kind of that's kind of the thing that goes against nature, where it's like being vulnerable in front of a lot of people. It's like that's not good for survival.
Heart beating fast.
Yeah, you got to learn how to control the adrenaline and control your emotions and control the room at some point, later in life. But it's not natural. You know what I'm saying? To just make yourself a target. So get on stage, get used to being on stage, get used to looking people in the eye when you're on stage, because that helps take the, like that helps take the focus off of me. It's like, what are you thinking? Mm-hmm. So I can see what you're thinking. I'm not thinking about what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about how I'm sweating a little bit. I'm focused on you. Now I'm not thinking about sweating, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it takes a while to get used to controlling your emotions and controlling your hand movements and controlling your little tics and stuff. Just get on stage as much as possible. It's hard to say. A good comedian, like, at Rogan's place, he's probably on stage 7, 8 times, 9 times a week, something like that. When he's here in town, probably doing 2 shows a night, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday maybe. And then he'll go do spots in the little room sometimes. So I would say like 9 to 10 times a week.
So if a good one is doing 9, 10 a week, then somebody who's just in the grind, stuck in the grind, they need to be doing more.
Yeah, you need to, you need to try to 15, 20.
How's Cam doing?
Cam's doing good. I don't know his stage. I don't know his hit rate on stage. You know what I'm saying? Like how many times he's hitting stages, but he's doing good.
What's his last name?
Patterson.
Cam Patterson. He is up and coming.
Yeah, check him out.
Fire. Salute you, boss.
Yeah, he's one of those stories of like fish to water. You know what I mean? It is him. He is it kind of thing.
His delivery.
He's just energy. He just gets on. He's energy. You can still see a little rawness in him because he's only like 2 years in, but you can see like he's in the element. He's of the element, and there's very few people that just come into the game 2 years in, and he had a good end. Kill Tony blew him up. People love him. He's a good kid too. He's a good kid.
He seems dedicated.
Yeah, he's focused. I mean, he's locked in.
Definitely.
He's locked in.
For those interested in comedy, is it smart to have a little saved up, or is it smart to work during the day, do shows at night? What would be the best combination in an ideal world?
The smart thing to do is put 100% into it, no matter what it takes. Focus all your energy on it. To me, that's the smart thing. Put 100% in, and
because you hear a lot of stories, comedians crashing on other people's couches.
Do what you gotta do.
Comedians not having work full time,
be poor,
struggling here and there.
Be poor
if you really want it.
Yeah, just be poor. Fuck it, because you still listen. It's not gonna stop the party.
Yeah.
You're still gonna be able to party. You're still gonna be able to hang out. You're still gonna, get girls, get guys. I don't know how it is for girls in comedy, but guys do like. I dated 2 comedians. You know what I mean?
At the same time?
Everybody. No. Different times. But it's not going to stop the party. Just be poor, but be focused also on the grind. And, like, just be in the world and be – the more time you spend away from it, that's more time you're not getting better at comedy. So wherever your focus is besides comedy, that's what's – you got to get rid of that. So to me, just diving in 100%. That's when I made the decision to do comedy, that's what I decided to do.
What made you start a business?
We just wanted stage time, really. It wasn't even about starting a business. We just found a room, and we just wanted more stage time, because, I was getting booked, but it's like also there was dead spots in the week. Or there was, I could add one more show here. I could have used another show. So we just started a room. We did it on a Friday. We decided to sell tickets. We sold quite a few tickets, more than 50% of the tickets we have for sale. And we decided, maybe this is a business. And then we took it from Friday to 3 days a week to 5 days a week. And now there's a spot. It's open 7 days a week. I'm kind of removed from the day-to-day of it right now. But, we just wanted stage time because that's what it's about. Stage time. Get on stage, right? Get on stage. Stage time's important.
Do you think it's also important for people to have videos of themselves so they have content, so they can put it out, so they can show people what they're doing? Or does that really not matter in the comedic world as much as like in other industries?
No, it's important. It's definitely an avenue to success financially and gaining a following, which leads to ticket sales, opens doors to clubs. If you can sell tickets, you can make some money. If the goal is financial, yeah, put yourself out there and see what hits, see what sticks, see if people start following you, see if they like it, get some feedback like that too. I'm not, I don't really know how I'm trying to, I think what I want out of comedy is just more just respect that I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to be famous or nothing like that. I'm not seeking fame, which, might sound crazy. But I really I got into it for the freedom of work and the freedom of travel and the freedom of my time.
Yeah, I think it's feed the fam, F the fame.
Yeah, I mean, if you can get some money off of it. Yeah. I got nobody to support, really. Everybody in my family's, my dad did 22 years in the Air Force. He's getting retirement checks.
Set.
Playing golf,
Set.
My mom's been working, human resources for 30 years.
Set.
Just moving up. My sister retired from the Air Force after 12 years.
Set.
So I got nobody. It's just me.
So they got free time to go see your set.
Nice. I see what you did there.
Thank you. Off the top, baby.
So for me, I never had to really take care of nobody, but yeah, if you got family and they need, put yourself out there, get good, get on stage, buddy up next to somebody that can help you move up.
So you a suburb baby?
Suburb? What's that mean?
Suburb baby?
What is that?
A suburb baby. Grew up nice. You didn't have Kool-Aid, you had Hawaiian Punch?
No, it was kind of half and half. So when I was with my mom in Florida, we lived across from the projects. You know what I'm saying? It was me, her, and my sister. It's not the best, not the worst. She always made sure we had food and stuff. We weren't balling. We were in an apartment on the 3rd floor.
That's balling.
Okay, we got robbed on Christmas Eve.
Jesus.
Our car got stolen twice.
By Ricky Smiley?
I don't know who it was, but we got it back twice for some reason. It was crazy.
That's crazy.
So it wasn't nice.
yeah. Getting robbed on the 3rd floor is not nice.
It ain't nice. But then I moved in with my pops, and he had just retired, so but this is also in Lubbock, Texas, where the dollar goes very far.
Mm-hmm.
So he was able to get a nice house, and, it was a nice area I grew up in. It's not super affluent, really middle class.
They love Taylor Swift in Lubbock.
I'm sure they do. Yeah. Taylor is fine. I wouldn't say I'm in love with her, which is what you said. You said we love Taylor.
Yeah, I'm saying we love Taylor's music.
It's fine.
I'm just not trying to walk randomly somewhere and somebody be like, hey, you got a problem with Taylor?
Nah, I don't got she's fine.
Mm-hmm. Travis Kelce, #1 tight end in the league. Taylor Swift, #1 female artist in the world. I mean, that's a power couple.
Yeah, but they doing missionary.
Do you have any jokes?
Yeah, I'm a comedian.
All right. I got a joke. I got a joke too. So you want to go first? I go first.
You want me to tell you a joke?
I got a joke.
All right, go ahead. This is more what this is about.
Nah, I would like to hear one from you, but have you ever been to a paraplegic strip club?
A paraplegic strip club? No.
The place is crawling with pussy.
All right, that's a good joke.
Thank you.
I'm trying to think of just a quick joke. This is kind of a joke. Talking about relationships. I used to be in a toxic relationship. Like, it was bad. You know what I mean? Like, the breakup, it like completely changed me. I used to be white with red hair and freckles.
Yo, that's all we got. That's all we got for today. My boy Rick, thanks for coming through. Andre Ricks. If you guys are in Austin, you want to see some comedy, the Mothership, East Austin Comedy Club, any other spots that you would say are worth going to visit?
Yeah, go check them all out. Vulcan, Creek in the Cave, Sunset, Cap City still doing it. There's probably like 50, 60 shows a week and throughout the city in smaller venues. Go watch a comedy show.
And
good comedians, great comedians here.
We'll have a link to their Eventbrite so you can get tickets when you want. It is BYOB. And South by Southwest is around the corner. There's probably going to be a lot of good comedy stuff come March.
Yeah, they have a South by Southwest, I think maybe like 3-4 years ago, added a comedy section to the programming. So there should be comedy during that. And then Moon Tower Comedy Festival is right after that in April, I think it is.
That's going to be good. Joe Rogan, you need to pull up and holla at my boy Andre. I'm sure you're the only black guy in there.
Black guy. Well, Cam was a door guy, but he blew up. And then it's me and David Jolly. But shout out to all the door staff. They're all very funny people. You know what it is like working there?
What?
It's like working with like all the class clowns from around the world or like around the high schools.
Really?
It's like in one place. Like you don't even have to tell jokes. You could just sit back and laugh, and because they're very funny.
I would get nothing done.
Yeah, we're terrible at our jobs. They hired us, and one of the comedians in media was like, "Yeah, we're all bad at our jobs." On stage, he's like, "We're terrible at our jobs. We're funny people, but we're terrible."
All right, when you see this guy, say what's up. Until then, once again, this is Business Music Finance. I am Wham, the show that gives you the game you need to know, intelligent topics.
You call yourself Wham?
Yeah, that's my those are my initials. What a Mandingo.
What a Mandingo?
Yeah, that's what it stands for. WAM.
So you do doggy style, big dog, little doggy.
My favorite is from the back.